On this video, we're going to be doing an overview and my interpretation of The Secret by RHONDA BYRNE. What's up, guys? My name is Nico, a Rapkless. I'm going to share with you 3 life-changing principles that I got from this book. I'm also going to share with you a story, how this all cemented in me deeply. I'm going to share some exercises that can help you start experiencing the magic of The Secret. And at the end of this video, I'm also going to share with you kind of something that happened with me that actually repelled my manifestations for a long time until I really started implementing what I'm about to share on this video. So you're in for an absolute treat on this video. My name is Nico, a Rapkless, as mentioned. Really excited to have you here on this YouTube channel. So let's not waste any time and let's dive into this book summary and my interpretation of it so that you can take my wisdom and knowledge that I've utilized from this book and applied so that I could start manifesting on a more consistent basis that makes it easier and it actually makes it more fun as well. So let's dive in. One of the first things with The Secret is that you have to know what you want. In other words, ask. So the 3-step process that they talk about in this book is ask, believe, and receive. Okay? But it all starts with asking. Now I want you to think about it like this. It's not just on, okay, you take some time and you say, I want a Ferrari, or I want a relationship, or whatever it is that you truly want in your heart's desire. And there's an important reason that I ask you in your heart's desire that we'll get to here in a second, but it's really about that first step is asking. And so a metaphor that they talk about in this book is the fact that when you're asking, it's basically like you have a genie, right? Which I have some other thoughts around a different way to look at things, but think about it as a genie, okay? And the genie is simply just observing how you're interacting, how you're behaving throughout the day. And so everything you think about, everything you speak about, and everything you act upon, that is your way of asking this genie. The genie is the universe, as what is clearly defined in this book. So on a consistent basis, right? Because some people will say, well, I asked for a relationship when I made some time and it was like 5 minutes that one day. That's not really asking, right? Because there's a law known as the law of vibration, and you're going to continue to experience whatever that is of your dominant vibration, your dominant thoughts, okay? Thoughts, actions, and your words, okay? So what is a dominant one? So if you're thinking about, a relationship once and then the rest of the time you're thinking about how you're lonely, then that's actually what you're asking for. So I think that's an imperative piece of this whole puzzle, is that you are asking based on what you're thinking, what you are speaking about, and what you are acting about, right? So if you can just consistently make that part of your life, whether you're just having fun with friends and saying, oh man, wasn't that crazy when we were on that yacht? And then, it's wild because just all these clients are just flowing to me. It's absolutely wild. And it's really fun to do that process. And we, in fact, actually have a tool that helps you refine this process even further and helps you actually feel, that I'll talk about here in a second. But it's really, really powerful to just continue to take that approach of that. It's the way you ask is with what you think about, what you speak about, and what you act upon. So that's really the first component of that process, is that asking, believing, and allowing or receiving, right? And so the second step, and the second really point of this book that I wanted to talk about is that, believing really comes from a place when you believe in your heart's desire on what is for you, right? If you just say, hey, I want a relationship, I want the Ferrari, I want this, it's kind of like that 2-year-old energy of like, I don't have this, so I want this. You have this, so I want this, right? Rather than sitting with it and truly asking and becoming aware of what's really important to you and your values. And that's what we talk about all the time inside of our accelerator program, is like really operating from your values. And once you truly start understanding your values, then you can sit and ask God, and you say, like, what do you have for me, God? Like, what do you want? What is in my heart's desire that I want to be going after? Right? And that's really a lot more powerful, because then once you actually decide on what you want and you're going after your desire, you have a different belief around that, because you're not operating from like, I want that, and then I'm not sure if I can get it because I'm not sure if I believe in it. It's just more like, hey, this is what I'm meant to do. This is who I'm meant to become. And that's why you have that stronger belief in it. All right, so that's part number 2. Part number 3, okay, is allowing that in. Okay, receiving that. And the best way that I can explain this, what they talk about in this book, is the fact that allowing is really just feeling good. Okay, because what's happening, coming back to the whole law of vibration, is that we are attracting the dominant vibration that is constantly experiencing within our life. So if you are feeling lack, if you're feeling fearful, if you're feeling not good, right, that's what you are actually attracting in. And it's always on whatever is the dominant vibration, right? The dominant vibration. It's not just, hey, I had a vibration, I did some breath work and I got clear and I feel good. It's like, what are you feeling on a consistent daily basis, right? Because that's what's going to continue to perpetuate in your life. So it's so important to feel good. And one of our hacks, this is a really powerful hack that we talk about inside of our community, in our school community, is that it's all about feeling good. And one of the things that you can really do to help yourself feel better is figure out more so where you're at right now. Okay, that's 1 to 10. I always like to do the 1 to 10 scale. Okay, are you at a 6? Okay, now it's about getting to a 7. If you're at a 7, it's about getting to an 8. And the more that you can do that, the more that you're going to raise your vibration, the more that you're going to feel good, the more you're going to actually start attracting that type of stuff in. So how do you actually do that? Well, a really great thing to do is not ask how. It's just more so, what does that look like? What does that feel like? How does that stand, right? Instead of asking how questions, is like, what does that look like? What does that feel like? But one of the best things that you can do is just laugh more often, right? And keep a list of what makes you laugh, what makes you feel good, what are the wins. And the more that you focus on that, the more that it expands, because that's also what this book instinctively talks about significantly, is that you're always just attracting what you're feeling, right? And so if you're feeling lack, you're going to experience more lack. If you're feeling abundance, you're going to experience more abundance. It's whatever you put out, right? So you'll feel that, you'll bring that in. So whatever you focus on expands. Just think about it in the sense of, if you focus on the saliva in your mouth, you just keep on focusing on that, and you'll notice that the saliva grows, gets more, right? And so what you focus on expands. So if you put a list together every single month and say, this is my monthly milestones, this is my monthly wins, this is my times I've been laughing this month, and you keep on putting focus on that, you keep on feeling good, because anytime you're focused on things that are fun and exciting and alive and are making you laugh, you're feeling good. And therefore, that the more that you put that in, the more that's your consistent vibration, the more that you're actually experiencing it, therefore attracting that in. And I want to draw this with a metaphor, and then, as mentioned, I want to show you like one thing that actually pushes your manifestations out at the end of this video. Okay, but I want to also draw in the reason why I love this book and why it's been so pivotal for me is because of the fact that this was literally my first really personal development book that I was ever read when I was 18, right? And then I found the exercise in this book that talks about how you want to visualize and you want to feel what it feels like to find a dollar bill. Okay, very simple, right? But find a dollar bill, and I'm just constantly sitting there and I was thinking about the dollar bill, feeling it, what's going to be like. I lift up that dollar bill, like, hey guys, what's up? Like, look, I found this, and just experiencing that and doing that every single day, and not having resistance around that, which again just comes back to feeling good and laughing and having fun and putting a focus on that rather than like, I need to find this dollar. It's more just like, hey, I focus on the dollar, I see it, and then I experience it, and it's fun and it's alive, and then I go out there and do it, right? Really, really powerful. And that's exactly what happened. I did that. I visualized it. I saw it. I went to the mall with some friends. I found it. I was like, yeah, so cool. And then I started applying that to baseball. I would visualize myself hitting a home run off the 7 of the scoreboard in the last inning, first pitch. Exactly. And then that's exactly what happened, right? So it's really, really powerful. And so if you start applying that stuff, and again, you make that your dominant thoughts, you make that dominant, your way you speak about things, the way you're acting, and you just make that your dominant vibration, your dominant thoughts, the dominant words, everything you making it dominant, that's when it actually starts coming in. And then all you gotta do is just laugh, have fun, and it'll eventually come in. That's how it works, right? But if you have resistance, okay, if you hold on tight and being like, I have to get this, that's when it's continuously pushing out, because it's like, oh, you're not ready for this. You're not ready for this. You're idolizing this. You're putting it on as a pedestal. Okay, whatever you resist persists. Whatever you hold on tight, it's just gonna flow through your fingers, right? And that's the thing that you want to avoid, because that's what happened for me for a long time. I get to remind myself that it's all about just trusting and letting go and allowing it to come in, okay? So it's really, really important that you just allow things in. And the reason that you don't have resistance with a dollar bill, because it's a dollar bill, right? The only reason that it becomes more difficult as we increase the value of the things that we want to attract is because we like, oh, I don't feel deserving of that. But again, if you come back to the whole concept of like, what do you have in my heart, God? What do I value? What's important to me? Rather than just, I want that because I don't have that. Okay, so that's really, really important. Now, the last thing that I want to share with you as well is how to actually read this book the best way. Okay, and it's reading the physical book, but also listening to the audiobook at the same time. And you can jump on your Spotify account. If you have a Spotify premium account, you can listen to this audiobook. You can listen to any audiobook on there, which is really cool, but you do it in the physical form as well as the audiobook form. Okay, so that's the gist, guys. As mentioned, we do have an accelerator program. We also have this really powerful tool that I mentioned briefly. It's called Vision Espresso, that helps you get into that vibration very consistently. It's basically you're creating your own vibration, your own song that you can create. And that's a metaphor that I absolutely love, is like how you would memorize a song is you wouldn't memorize a lyric at a time. You'd memorize the whole song. You'd listen to it all the time. We actually help you create your song for your life, of what your manifestations, your creations. And then we also have a community of hundreds of people where we go live every single week, and we talk about a lot of cool things. We dive deep. You have access to me. You can ask questions. You can meet all the other people. If you want to learn all about that community and everything that we got, make sure and watch this video. It'll explain everything in depth. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I appreciate you. Make sure and subscribe, and we'll talk to you on the next one.